Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, coming at you with a series of video presentations for the Rankin Technical College Application and Web Development AWD1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class. The book I've been going through is ASP.NET MVC with Entity Framework and CSS by Mr. Lee Naylor. You can see the book on your screen right now. We are in the middle of Chapter 9, Placing an Order. We are going to create a simple ordering process that allows users to review their orders prior to submitting them. During this process, users can edit the delivery address details. All right. So for instance, if I was ordering something for home, I might use my home address. If I was using it, for work, I might use Rankin Technical College's address, etc. First, obtain a user manager in the order controller class using the same code we used in previous chapters as shown in bold. We are using this code to access user information when creating an order to be reviewed. Next, we name the get version. Now, you don't really have to do that, but they're showing you that you can if you want to. All right. So they want to change the name of it. Instead of get, they're changing it to review, and they're updating it as shown. Okay. Ensure that you add the using system.threading.tasks at the top of the file. Now, when you use threads, the idea is you're able to do things in the background and keep the application running. All right. We changed the method to be asynchronous in order to use the user manager's find by name async method. The method gets the current basket and creates a new order, then finds the current user and assigns their details to the order. Finally, it adds all of the baskets to the order. The order is then passed to the view, and it does this in an asynchronous manner, which means you don't have to wait while you're doing something. It can try to go on, all right, and keep things going in as expedited a manner as possible. All right. So here's the changes. So we are allowing them to review their order, and we're going to show them what's in their order. So as mentioned here on page 348, the view has been updated so that it now displays the details of each order line and the details of the user, including the delivery name and address to be edited if required. Just mentioned that to you a minute ago. The form has been updated so it now targets the create action method, all right, rather than the review method. To see how the new code works, we first need a way to allow users to move from the basket to the orders review, so we add a button that's going to allow them to do that. There it is. Now start the website without debugging and add some items to the basket. Then in the basket, click the new order button as shown. So let's see if we can actually do this. So we were in here. Okay. And let's see, we've got orders. All right, I'm going to shop now. It's thinking about it. Okay, so let's come in here. We'll add that to our basket. I'm throwing in a couple random items. All right, now I want to come in and update my basket. And if I click order now, It's thinking about it. All right. There we can now review our order. Okay, so if I wanted to, again, if that was a home address, I could change that. Okay, so this is the information I have currently online for the users delivered to address, town, city, etc. This is what's in the current order and how much the current order currently is. You'll notice that the user can't be changed. I cannot remove that because that's who I'm logged in as. But I can change any of the stuff that's in here that I decide to change. All right, and that's what we just did in here. So after clicking the Order Now button and after logging in, you will be directed to review the order. And it makes sense. Sometimes you order the wrong product, or maybe you fat finger and you order too many of the product or whatever, or you want to add more of a certain item. So this allows you to edit the delivery details of the order, including the delivery name, delivery address, plus you can return to the basket to edit its content if you want to. All right. 351, saving the order to the database. We are going to treat saving an order to the database as a two-step process, allowing the orders controller class to save the order, and then we're going to create the related order lines using the basket class. It says we have taken this approach because we cannot simply add the orders and order lines to the database using the orders controller. Rather, we use the basket class to obtain the data for the order lines via the getBasketLines method. Attempting to save order lines to the database using Entity Framework in the basket controller would result in an error, as the basket lines entry will now be tracked by two contexts. So we add a new method to our basket.cs file to create a list of order lines and save them to the database. The method, as it says, takes an integer as an input parameter, and this integer will be the ID of the order associated with the order lines to be saved. Next, we have to come in and update the post. Remember, the get is when we're viewing, the post is when we're changing. And the author does annotate with comments, not just code, what's going on here. All right. To see this code in action, start the website without debugging. Log in as user2. So we can go back in and try what he's got here. So I'm going to copy this. I think I'm in now as user 5, but let's double check anyway. Yes, I am. So I'm going to log off. I'm going to log in as user 2. And the password, I believe, was not complete what I just did. Oh, I didn't put the .com in there. And the password is going to be password 1. So let's try this again. All right. Says that was not a valid email address. Try it again. All right, now I'm in, and I'm in as user 2, as you can see there. All right, so I want to come in here as doing this. Add items to the shopping basket is shown in figure 9.7 if they're not already in the basket. So we want a 3-pack of bibs and a 3-pack of bottles. And the black pram and push car system. So let's do that. Well, let's view my orders. Details. 3-pack of bibs, 3-pack of bottles. Okay, so I've got everything in there as is shown. So right now I'm ordering almost $1,000 worth of stuff. Click on the Order Now button and change the Deliver to name in the review section to Test User. All right, so that right there. So I'm going to come back in here, click the, let's go back to the list and click the, oh, yeah, change password, my details, yeah, I see all that good stuff. I did the shop now. What I want to do is I want to, according to the author here, I want to click on the Order Now button. Change the Deliver To name to the Review Screen Test User. Then click on the Create button. Yeah, the basket's empty, that makes sense. No, I was just in here. I want to go to Orders here. There we go. All right. But I don't see the Order Now button that they talked about in here. Whatever it is, it's something probably pretty simple, which is why I can't figure out what it is. I do have my stuff in there. I know that. It came up at first. This is what I want. Oh, it is test user. Okay. Oh, they've already changed it to test user. Okay. So order details 22. Sorry, the requested page cannot be found. Add request. That's not what we want. That's asking me to log in as someone else, and that's why I'm getting that. I have to find out the number for this. So notice this is working, because when we're putting in a detail which we have no right to see, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the problem is right there. I'm not going to waste my time, or more importantly, yours. All right. So that's a completed order where we change the Deliver To name. If you now open the orders table, you should see a new order created there. All right, so they say 22. We did not create a new order, so my guess is if we open the orders database, we can try that and see if there's anything in there for number 2. But I don't imagine there is going to be. Yeah, I want this. A lot of stuff in here. There's baby store, but there's a bunch of them. But if I go to tables, Somewhere in here is the orders table, but I'd have to go search for it. So I'm not going to do that right now. Sorry about that. Note we didn't attempt to perform any complex model binding from the review screen to the create method. As well as attempting to bind to a set of order lines, we would have also had to ensure the product data was correctly modeled. Well, what they're saying is there are things that could have been done that were not done because it may have been too complex to do. All right, I'm at 16 minutes. I'm going to pick it up in a minute, going over updating product deletion to avoid foreign key conflicts. Okay, so I'll be back with that in just a couple minutes.